And welcome back to the channel. Mr. Acolyte here, coming at you with another Dragon Ball video. And today we are here to talk about this game's newest mechanic, that being the Perfect Reflect. Now, if you haven't heard, Perfect Reflect is the newest defensive mechanic added to the game in the most recent patch. And despite being in the game for a while now, I feel like this mechanic has been completely written off by most of the community as just basically ranging from flat out bad to just like a nothing burger change. And I wanted to weigh in on that because I have the opposite opinion. I honestly believe that Perfect Reflect is actually pretty strong. And today we're going to go over some reasons why it might just be a bit stronger than you think. Let's check it out. Okay, so just to make sure that we're all on the same page, let's go ahead and first break down what exactly is Perfect Reflect. And of course, the easiest way to do that is to go ahead and show you the difference between the regular and the perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and set Tension Han to do a vanish on me here. And as you see, I'll just do a regular reflect here. Nothing special. That's the game's universal get off of me tool. Pushes the opponent back, gives you space, gives you options for punishing their offense if they get a little sloppy in very specific situations. Now let's take a look at the Perfect Reflect. Almost exactly the same, except for the very obvious fact of the screen dims and you hear the commentator in the background yell, "Great!" Not only that, if you're paying very close attention, you can see that you get more frame advantage. More on that later. But the main thing to take away is that you are just more plus. You can tell because the opponent sort of gets slowed down. You can see that the screen actually kind of freezes. And that screen freeze does transfer to the opponent. They are kind of locked in place for like an extra couple of frames, so that does give you more advantage in the end. So the screen dim and the advantage are the biggest differences between a regular reflect and a perfect reflect. The input is exactly the same, it's just back and special, but the key difference is in order for a regular reflect to become a perfect reflect is just the timing. You have to hit a reflect just as the attack is making contact with you in order to trigger the perfect effect. So why does most of the community feel that this mechanic is either bad or worthless? Well, the answer to that is very simple. In the trailer, they were a little bit misleading. I do think it's kind of the trailer's fault because in the trailer, they showed a character reflecting something and then getting a punish. They showed them reflecting a block string specifically and getting a punish, and that's not really what it's for. The number one time that you're going to be reflecting in this game is probably when someone is doing a block string on you, and in that situation, yes, Perfect Reflect is not very strong. Let's go ahead and look at an example here. So I've set up Tension Han to do a very basic string on me here. And that string is reflect proof. So if I reflect this and swing, I am not going to be able to hit him. Now, if I get a perfect reflect and swing on him, I still can't hit him. So yeah, this is the most common situation we're going to get a reflect again is during block strings. And this is why people believe it is so bad, because most strings that are safe against reflect remain safe against perfect reflect. But in my opinion, that's actually a good thing, because you really got to think about it. If someone could make every block string unsafe simply by just pressing reflect when they're being pressured, this game would pretty much become unplayable. Sitting down with your character and figuring out what strings are safe against reflect and what isn't is very, very important. So maintaining that, I think, is very important as well. You wouldn't want a game where you're actually scared to attack the opponent. Like, if this game were like that, it would fall apart because there's already a lot of defensive mechanics in this game. And when it's your turn, you want to actually make your turn matter. And again, in a world where Reflect made everything unsafe, I do think that this game would become a lot less fun to play. Okay, so by now we should have a really good understanding of Perfect Reflect and what it's not good against. But I wouldn't have made this video just to talk about the stuff that's bad about it. The reason I made this video is because what's good about it, I feel, is extremely good. So I kind of hinted at it earlier, and what's really good about it is honestly just that little bit of extra frame advantage you get. So the best thing about Perfect Reflect is it gives you the ability to punish fake vanishes with a pretty healthy portion of the cast. So what is a fake vanish? So a true vanish, or should I say a true block string vanish, is something like this. When somebody does a beam into a vanish, that is completely gapless and it jails you. So no matter what I do, once I block this Dodonpa, I cannot reflect out of that. That is just set in stone. I have to take part in that RPS. It's the opponent's turn because I blocked the Dodonpa. A fake vanish, however, would be something like this, where somebody throws a Ki Blast at you and then tries to vanish after that. Obviously, that's not real. I can always reflect that. That's never going to jail me. Same thing and equally common when someone is doing a block string on you, or even at neutral, and they decide to end their turn with a special move and then vanish it afterward in an attempt to keep their turn. This is also fake because, again, you can always reflect this. So before Perfect Reflect existed, the only way to stop someone from doing this and to get any sort of meaningful damage or to take your turn would be to have an anti-air attack. Like if you're a character that has a true anti-air, you could always punish it. Or if you had 3 bars, it was costly, but you could always punish this with 3 bars as well. Those were the only real ways for 99% of the cast to punish a fake vanish before Perfect Reflect existed. But now that Perfect Reflect exists, any character that has a long-reaching, high-speed lariat gets a free punish every single time. So a situation where before you were getting no damage potentially, you're actually able to get huge damage and momentum, all because they ended their turn with a vanish that wasn't real. In my opinion, that is insanely strong, and it makes Perfect Reflect very, very threatening because it's extremely punishing. I used Yamcha here because I feel he's a really good example of you know, to show everything with, but of course he's not the only one that can do this. There's a lot of characters. Let's take a look at a few other examples. So as you can see, as long as you have any sort of fast lunging attack, you get a ton of value out of punishing with a Perfect Reflect. And again, this is a super, super common situation. A lot of players get kind of greedy in this game where when their turn is up, they don't want to actually give that turn up, so they end up vanishing to try to hold on to it. And now that situation is a lot more deadly because, yet again, like I said before, in order to punish it, you had to have some sort of special move like an EX air throw or EX anti-air of some kind, or spin 3 bars. And there's a very small number of characters that can do that, but the amount of characters with lunging attacks or super fast Ki Blast in this game is actually pretty high. And I didn't even show everybody. There's other characters in the cast that can do it as well. All you need is an attack that is 15 frames or lower. As long as it's 15 frames or under and it lunges forward, it's gonna connect. So if you didn't see your character on that list or that montage that I showed, that doesn't mean they can't do it. You might just have to find the move that does it. That was just to give you an idea of how many characters can very easily punish a fake vanish with a perfect reflect. And with that, we have reached the end of this video. Thanks for listening, guys. Hopefully with this information, you feel a little bit more positive about Dragon Ball's newest mechanic. I mean, I think it's crazy that this game's almost 10 years old and it's still getting new mechanics. How crazy is that? Personally, like I said at the beginning, I have the opinion that Perfect Reflect is like right in that sweet spot where it's really good, but not too good. Because I fear a world where Perfect Reflect is too strong and it becomes a game where, wow, I was plus and I pressed a button and they killed me. They hit me with a 2M off of my 5L and I'm dead now. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the world that I want to live in. So hopefully this video has helped to raise a little bit more awareness towards the strength of Perfect Reflect, because again, as long as you have the right tool behind it, it can bring a lot of value to your punishment game. But once again, thanks for listening, guys. Hope you guys have a good one. If you want to see more from me, check out the description below. I got a whole lot of stuff down there, a whole bunch of guides and videos for this game and other games. If you want to come to my streams and hang out, I stream most nights on Twitch and YouTube. Links are also in the description below. If you found this video helpful, if you liked it at all, consider leaving a like, as it does bump it in the algorithm and it helps me out a lot, and I do greatly appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video from me. But as always, you guys have a good one, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.